wherever the cloud is. It's probably like the Burrows cloud. I don't know. All right. So we don't have any minutes to approve, so that's not a big deal. I think this will be a quick meeting because I can just give an update on the grant, Growing Greener stuff. But before I do that, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? And then we'll just like grant and then adjourn.
Just starting to look into grants again for the whole pollinator garden thing. So DEP and Pennsylvania American Water. So we'll see what we can come up with.
Okay. There's also Lower Delaware River Wild and Scenic. They have a mini grant program.
Okay.
I know I was actually on their grant committee one year, so they got a good amount of applications, but they're generally for smaller amounts because it's only like a $20,000 pot
Oh, okay.
of money. But I don't know how much a pollinator garden might be trying to get, but it might be nice, like a shovel-ready, tangible project.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if still keep my fingers crossed that somehow the borough gets all or a piece of that Pico property.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania American Water, it's up to $10,000, so you could do an awful lot with 10K.
Yeah, I was smiling because I was remembering our public water fountain idea, which is just like a laughing stock right now.
Forget about that.
Oh my gosh, the world has changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty. They do that grant every year, so that's definitely a good option.
Yeah.
All right. Alex or Kat, you guys got anything on your mind?
I guess I'm a little bit curious as to what might have happened in the January meeting that I wasn't able to attend, or was there not much to talk about?
YouTube. You can go watch it.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, nothing really happened. I think we just I dropped my pen. Gave a update on the grant, and that was about it. Was it even January? I think it was early December.
Yeah, we split time between November. Yeah.
No, it was like, yeah, because of Thanksgiving,
Right.
Christmas, we haven't had a meeting in a while or something.
So when you were talking about Lake Afton water flow, was there kind of like some context behind the conversation there?
Yeah, so we have the 3 transducers out right now, measuring pressure, trying to correlate to stream flow. 2 above the lake and 1 below the lake. And we ordered 1 more transducer because we have no way to measure what's going into or out of the lake, just kind of what's going in the stream next to it. So if we put this transducer, the setup is like a CMU block in PVC. If we put it in there, like this little standpipe in the mill raceway, which is like a concrete basin that it goes out of the lake into and then discharges into the stream. If we put it in there, we can calibrate that and get an idea of the water that's coming out of the lake. And that's just helpful because then I think we'll be able to kind of tease out, I guess, like base flow, quote unquote, like what's coming through from the stream and discharging versus what's stormwater flow. And all that would be helpful when trying to look at a nutrient budget for the lake in conjunction with like algal blooms and other stuff that's troubling it. So just, I think it would be helpful. So we have the transducer and we have the setup now because ASA came back this week and did some measurements.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. So anything else before we really get into grant stuff? There's not too much to talk about in terms of the grant.
Will you be able to recover the data?
No, it was gone. I know what happened now though. So the shuttle, I don't know if I have it. Kat saw it. It supposedly you're not supposed to leave the batteries in them for a long time, which is ridiculous because they ship it with the batteries in it. It's like buying a car and saying like, don't leave the battery in it. It's like it's so dumb. Anyways, it was replaced under warranty because apparently it looked like it had like burned the circuit board inside the shuttle, which is what offloads the data. And this shuttle did not sync to my computer clock. So it was saying it was like 1800 hours behind my computer. So not when I went out with UCAT, but the time before when I went out and downloaded the data, it relaunches the transducers with what's called a delay so that they run on the 5 minutes exactly so that every one of them is hitting on the 5-minute mark and all the data can line up. And when it tried to relaunch, the clock on the shuttle was like minus 1800 hours. So I got this error the next time that it failed to launch with an inaccurate delay. Now I know what that means. It makes sense now that the error happened 2 times ago. So when I went to download the data this time, the shuttle, they had never launched because the shuttle was broken 2 times ago. So that's kind of frustrating. And I guess it's a lessons learned that I need to make sure the shuttle is synced with a computer clock every time before we go out so that not only do you download the data, but they actually get relaunched. Didn't know this was going to be a problem, but it was, if that makes any sense. Supposedly it's fixed now though, and I redeployed them 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. I verified they were all running. I think I set them at a 5-minute interval now instead of 15-minute interval, but yeah, so I mean, they're still out there recording data, and ASA just came out and took their second round of streamflow. Should really talk to Liz about collecting water quality samples because it's just never going to happen, I guess. It's been like 2 years, so we got to at least get a year's worth of data there. And I guess I'll reach out to her after this meeting just to say, hey, what's up? And yeah, I think that's really it. I'm gonna put in this other transducer in the Mill Raceway. And other than that, we're really just kind of waiting on Remington Burnick to coordinate the water quality sampling. And maybe this visual assessment, if this thing ever happens. I don't really see people getting together in groups anytime soon to do anything. But if we have to, maybe we can make it work. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it depends on the size of the group. I mean, if you can spread out,
Yeah.
you know, maybe.
Yeah, I think everything's gonna have to be electronic now. So I heard the training for water quality sampling was gonna be electronic, and then we would like virtual meeting, and then we would go out and just collect samples ourselves. And the same deal for the training before the visual assessment. So my priority right now is the water quality sampling. To me, the visual assessment is secondary because we've already started collecting actual data on flow measurement. And if
Well,
we don't get the quality portion, you don't get any mass loading rates. And to me, that's more important than a visual assessment that we could almost do at any time.
you want to pull seasonally anyway, right?
Yeah, I would like to take a sample once a quarter at least.
Yeah.
We had 8 quarters budgeted and we only have 4 quarters left in the grant, which hopefully gets extended. So, you know, 1 year of like continuous data is better, and maybe we can sample more frequently in the summer if we realize that our timeline's gonna wind down or something, like once a month, who knows?
Michael, what is the process of the sampling? Like,
Fill a bottle with water, like
what do you do after a visit?
It's called, so you'll get a form. It's called like a chain of custody. I don't know if we're gonna end up taking like water quality measurements in the field, like pH and conductivity. I would imagine, but who knows? You might take some measurements like that, which would involve filling like a beaker with water and like taking the measurements or whatever instrument we end up getting. And then you fill a certain number of bottles based on what we're sampling for with water. Some may or may not have preservatives in them, which would be a small bit of chemical in the bottom of the bottle that the lab needs so that the analysis can be run later at a later time. The chemicals preserve it. And once you fill all the bottles, you kind of like fill out this, it's called a chain of custody. You write down what samples you took, you X things off, you sign it, you say like, I'm the one who sampled this. And the chain of custody is you, every time you pass off these samples, someone else signs it so that you have this record of who's been in possession of these samples all the way until it gets to the lab. For our purposes, it's not really going to be a big deal, but that's generally like the document that goes with the samples. You take field notes, write it down, and then we would either drop it off at the lab, which would probably be the easiest because shipping samples is a pain, like a really big pain.
Where is the lab? Like, where do you
I
need to
don't
drop
even
it?
know what lab Liz is working with. I think it's Eurofins, and I don't know. I can probably Google where Eurofins is around us. Eurofins.
If you drop it off, that makes the chain of custody that much simpler.
Well, it's just the shipping sucks because if you
Yeah.
don't pack it right, you have to keep them on ice. So if you don't pack it with enough ice and it takes a long time to get there, they'll be out of temp, which is, again, nothing's really a huge deal for us because it's not like regulatory based. We're just trying to actually do science.
Yeah.
But still, you don't want that flag next to your data where it's like too warm when it arrives. If you don't pack it right and it leaks, FedEx will send it to some warehouse thinking it's like a bomb and you'll never get it back. And then your samples are also lost and you've wasted time. So it's just like shipping it is a nightmare. Plus, you're shipping this giant cooler. Now, if we have to ship it, needless to say, it's going to be a pain. I think hand delivering. But it says if stupid Horsham. That seems
Oh,
far
wow.
away. Oof. Eurofins. Warminster.
Okay. Not bad.
And then where's this one? Horsham. Warminster would be doable. It would be a day though. Yeah, so it would, if we have to drive it to Warminster, which would be the closest, it's going to be a little more of a commitment to whoever's doing it. It takes me about an hour to go out and download data, but then you're going to be also grabbing samples. That's going to add like a half hour a location. So like 2.5 hours packing it up and driving it to the lab and then back. You're looking at like more than half a day commitment to do this, which is
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
because it's only going to be like once a quarter.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask.
But yeah, so we'll see. I'll email Liz. Let me write this down. Email Liz.
But it's definitely volunteers. It's definitely for us to take the samples, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're collecting the
Yeah.
samples.
Yeah.
So
I could do that.
it's all in-kind match anyways, so it's
Okay.
going to be helpful. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I don't know. I got this nifty field book, so I don't have to write my notes on a piece of paper anymore. Oh, hold on, one sec. How do I pause? All right. So yeah. Now that I've continued recording, I guess we can just be done. You guys got anything else or questions? I'm probably gonna go out this weekend and try and re-download data, and hopefully everything works. It's gonna be freezing cold, which is cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cold one, and we got snow coming.
We'll see. We're in lower Bucks County. We never get snow.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be different.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is saying rain.
Nor'easter.
Rain.
Yeah.
Well, you can. This is like a glowing white box to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just all rain. That's all it says. I got 1 hour of light snow before it turns into light rain, and then rain.
Well, I
Hope
think the
you're
best
right.
part about the best part about our area is you never really know because we're like right on the border between two different weather patterns.
I know it's gonna be rain. We never get anything cool like snow. That's all reserved for Stockton and New Hope, where it goes up in elevation a tiny bit, drops 2 degrees, and they get all snow. Whatever. All right. I guess I can
Less than-
stop this recording.
Less than 1 inch on Sunday, 1 to 3 inches overnight. That's what
Oh,
I got.
Sunday. I was looking
Yeah.
at like
No.
Thursday.
Sunday and the Monday.
Oh wait, no, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, rain. I'm gonna stop
Alright.
recording so that they don't see us argue about rain
Weather.
and snow for 10 minutes. All right, bye, YouTube world. Yes.